Take it. I want to say congratulations to Bobby Bryant and welcome. Congratulations on the Ring of Honor. That's pretty cool. And as you know, we have Dave Osborn.
Yeah.
Close personal friend Paul Krause. I got to tell you, there's not a nicer group of guys. This has been unbelievable. I was telling Bobby, I actually met Bobby at a basketball game, but I wasn't doing the math. I was 13 years old. It was either at Anoka High School or Coon Rapids High School. And I was 13 years old, and I was pissed because my buddy next to me won the football that they raffled off. And I remember his name because I was so mad. Mark Rosendahl was his name. He won that football, but they did a charity basketball game. And I started thinking, I was 13, that would be 50 years ago. So Bobby looked at me and said, oh, we're getting old. And then one gal, I don't know where she went, and she has a newspaper clipping of a game in Watertown. We should get a copy of that. And I want to thank Paul for opening this up to us. I think this is always a really fun deal. We've done a couple of these. If you ever get a chance, go on the website, Paul Krause 22, I believe it is, and you can come here for like away games. And if you leave a message, you could probably do a baby shower here.
I've done just about everything.
A stag party.
Well,
Who's getting married? Oh, Mary would kill me. I'm a plant. Okay, well, birthday parties. We'll come up with something. All right, here's the fun part. The questions. This one is actually, I think I may know the answer to this. Who was the funniest teammate? And we'll start with Paul.
oh jeez. Funniest?
Who made you laugh? Did you laugh at or did you tell jokes? Here, I'll give you that.
I get it.
Can you turn that knob up on the volume? It's farthest. Yeah.
I don't know who the funniest guy was. You know, somebody like
Paul Dixon.
Paul Dixon about took a head off.
The grumbler.
But I don't know. There's a bunch of guys that were always messing around. You know, Bobby was one. I don't know. I really don't know.
You know, three of us up here are old enough to have bad memories, and I don't know either. But no, the question was, who was the
Funniest. Who was the funniest teammate?
funniest teammate?
Hunky.
Mike Eyeshide was one. He was a punter from Iowa, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Remember Eyeshide? Who'd you say?
Punky.
Hunky.
Oh,
Oh, Hunky. Oh, Hunky. That was.
Carl
Oh,
Kasalki.
Hunky, Carl Kaselke. Y'all remember Carl? Yep. No, that was paralyzed in the motorcycle accident. But Carl was, well, he had the funniest laugh. It was a Wisconsin laugh. And my wife is from Wisconsin. She has that same kind of laugh. But, yeah. And Carl was one of the funniest guys, but he had a great sense of humor, too. But he had a funny one. You know anybody?
Yeah, the funniest guy on the team, no doubt. You all know who he was. Everybody watched him play with. He was hilarious. That was Bud Grant. He was the funniest guy on the team. If you believe that, I got another story.
all right. This is actually a good question. It's for all three of you. What do you miss most about playing?
Friendship.
Payday.
That's the funniest guy.
Now we know who the funniest guy is.
I'd have to agree with Paul, too. But payday was very important. You know, I made $8,000 my first year, and that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money back in those days. Nowadays, what do you guys think the starting guy would get nowadays? Minimum.
$375.
How
Rookie
much?
contract, $375.
375,000.
It's somewhere in that ballpark.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. That was a little bit short there.
I do know for a fact the guy who cooks out at TCO for their practice makes about double what you guys ever made.
Yeah.
The guy who cooks.
The guy who cooks. But it got better as the years went on. But nothing like it is today. You know, I went, just to tell you the truth, I went from $8,000 to $60,000. But then at that point, we had we were in the playoffs every year.
You got 60,000?
Per game.
We actually made more money usually in playoff money than we did salary for the whole year. Because the first game we got like 3,000 if we won. The second game we got like 7,000. Super Bowl, I don't think we won that one though. But it was 15,000, but we missed that. We got 8. It was a little different then.
You know, I do have to tell a funny story. I think they left, so it's okay that I say this, but there are a couple gals here. And this goes along the line of the question, who's the funniest guy in the team? And I have to tell this. When I went in and I used the restroom, and if you're standing at the restroom, there's one on the left, one on the right. I was using the one on the left. It locks, but the door doesn't stay locked. She pushes it in, opens it, and I'm standing there, my pants are down. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. But I came out later, she apologized, closed the door, and I come out later and I saw him talking. And the one lady says, "Who is that guy? Is he one of the players?" And you know what she said, the other gal that walked in on me? "All I know is he's not a pole vaulter." You know what's funny about that? That is 100% true. All right, what was the most memorable play Paul and Bobby were a part of? Now, this one sometimes brings up controversy, so we got to get this short answer. Memorable play that you were a part of, the two of you.
Paul got an interception, and I was trying to block for him, and I was running as hard as I could, and Paul couldn't keep up with me, so I had to slow down and come on, run backwards so he could catch me.
That's true, probably. What was the question?
Something funny.
Something funny.
No. It was, what was the most memorable play between the two of you?
That was funny.
That was funny. We got beat by Dallas. Yeah, that was funny.
All right. What are the years you played? This is for all three of you.
Oh, jeez. Start down
Start with Dave.
Years I played was 1965 through 76. I played 12 years and actually 11 with the Vikings, and I got a token year in with Green Bay. I don't ever tell anybody that, but I did play for Green Bay my last year.
Okay, hold on. Stay there. Keep the microphone. Here's a question. Dave, what was it like playing for as long as you're there, what was it like playing for the Green Bay Packers after Viking career?
Well, it was completely different because when I went over to the Packers, they only won one game for the whole year, I think. And when I went over there, I actually went in the middle of the year. It was 6-7 games to go, and I think we won a couple games, but they only won like 3 games, so they weren't very good that year. That was the reason I was there.
The years that you played.
I started in 1967 and finished up in 1980. So I played over 3 decades. 3 different decades.
I played 16 years. I don't know when I started, when I ended. But anyway, Dave didn't tell you, but when he got traded to Green Bay, and he went to Green Bay, boy, we all got mad at him. So we after the game, about 7 of us probably.
The Green Bay game, yeah, at the Met.
We ran all the way down the side, down the extra point.
That's where they do the end zone, right?
Yeah. That's their end zone, and we ran about 50-some yards to get him, and we got him.
Let me tell a little bit.
We got
He
him.
got me. But what happened, I knew they were plotting something. As I was standing on the sideline there, I could see them, they were huddled up, and I think he was the leader. And so I said, I gotta get the hell out of here somewhere quick. So when the game was over, I started towards the end zone. I was gonna circle around. Well, they cut me off, up the pit. They saw where I was going, and they took off right for where the locker room was. They caught me over there, and they drug me in. We had been a snowstorm, and we had drifts about this big plowed on the side. They shoved me in one of those snow drifts, buried me in the snow.
All right, stop.
No, hang on to it. What was your favorite meal during training camp?
My favorite meal?
Favorite meal during training camp?
Steak.
Because they get meals today like our 5-star restaurant stuff. They
Oh.
get the nice stuff today.
Maybe a steak once in a while.
Pancakes.
Anything else warm?
Who had the best fashion on the team? Who dressed the best?
Man, oh man.
Not Jerry Burns.
Paul, I know the answer to this one, and you'll agree with me too. We had a black corner named Ursel McBee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That, for sure. Ursula.
For sure, Ursel.
And so Ursel his wife was a seamstress, and she used to sew these. Remember when pantsuits were popular with the big bell bottoms? Well, she made Ursel a beautiful jumpsuit, and he'd wear on a road trip. And Bud and our dress was you had to have a coat and tie, and you couldn't wear something like bell bottoms. But anyway, Bud Grant told him, he said, you got to wear something related to the Vikings when we go on a trip. So the next time we had a road trip, Ursel showed up in a purple jumpsuit that he wanted to make. Purple colors, you know. So anyway, Ursel McBee was the funniest guy.
you want to add to that, or you good?
Well, yeah, guys, if you didn't cooperate with Bud's style, you might have been the best player on the team, but you'd just disappear from the roster. He had a way of trading you, cutting you, getting rid of you. I've seen some good players, which were good enough to play, never play with the Vikings, because Bud, you had to fit in the Bud scheme of things. Bud wanted certain type of people that would play, like us dummies here, you know. Just to say, but no, isn't that right, guys? Bud
give me
wanted
that.
certain people.
You're right.
I just get going too.
We can go out to my truck and grab the other mic. Yeah, we're gonna get one today. All right, which team player was one that you didn't want to tick off? You didn't want to make him mad. I think I know the answer to this one.
Carl Eller. And Wally Hilgenberg. And
Lonnie Warwick.
oh yeah.
Lonnie was a middle linebacker from I think he
Tennessee.
played in Tennessee State or somewhere like that. But boy, he was a nasty, mean guy. He was a good middle linebacker.
I would also say Lonnie Warwick, and he was one of my best friends, but he was one of the guys that you had to kill him to stop him, let's put it that way. He would never quit. He was the toughest dude. Wouldn't you guys say that? He was about the toughest dude you ever met playing football? It was him.
Which player did you dread playing against?
All of them. I was going to say a end, you know, because that's probably what who gives me the most trouble. And you know, the old tight ends were really good, and they would chop you and everything.
And they were big guys. I knew who I was going to tell you, but I forgot it during your answer, Paul. No. What was the question again?
What player did you dread playing against?
Oh, okay. Oh.
I got another one too.
You go ahead, Paul. Maybe I'll remember
Well,
mine.
The offensive running back for the Miami Dolphins,
Oh, Zonka.
Zonka. Here, when we played in the Super Bowl, we had Eller, Marshall,
Page.
who?
Page was,
Page and Sons.
yeah. something.
And their game plan was to run over our big line, the defensive line. And I'm here to say they did it. But I was in on, because I could never tackle him, I was in on about 14 tackles. And all I did was grab a hold of him and holler for help. That's all there is to it.
Well, Paul wasn't known to be a big hitter, but he got the job done. But I remember when we played Miami and he would try to tackle Zonka, but that was one of the funniest sights you ever see was Zonka dragging Paul down the field. Paul would usually get him down. So he didn't
I'll
let
tell
him
you
go.
what, I held on to him until somebody came and helped me. And a lot of times,
Wasn't no skinny corners, I guarantee you that.
he had, I don't know, how many touchdowns did he have? 4, 5?
Go ahead, Dave.
Back in my day, I think Deacon Jones played for the Rams, was the toughest guy I ever deal with. He was a defensive end, and as a running back, we had to block the defensive ends on sweep plays and so forth. And he was impossible to block. He'd step over you, jump over you, your hand push you down, and he was probably the toughest guy that I had to face.
All right, this one, Paul, is right to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Was Paul Krause going to play quarterback at the Snowball game in Buffalo?
Yes.
We were worried.
What'd you say? We were worried. Sure, we got snowballed to
All right,
death.
Bobby and Paul, which interceptions were your favorite that the other person did? And I'm going to add to that question. First of all, your record of 81. People don't realize nobody's ever going to break that. It's just not going to happen. Was there ever a time, and I'm asking this kind of to both of you, but Bobby, was there ever a time where you were going for the ball or he was going for the ball and you thought it was yours and he took it or you took it or back and forth? Because it had to happen over that many years you played together.
Well, Paul had an advantage because he's 6'4" and I'm 5'11". So, there were lots of times where I thought I had an interception and all of a sudden Paul came in over the top of me and got it. But anyway, that was okay. We didn't care. We appreciated the opportunity to get interceptions, and we're happy that if we didn't get it, that the other one did.
I would almost say that we had probably the best twosome
We did.
in the league.
We had over 100.
Yeah, 100 interceptions.
Paul had 53, I think, and I had 51, something like
What?
that. Interceptions.
I
Well, you had 81, but I'm talking about with the Vikings.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't count the other
I
one.
did ask, I was down about a month ago or 3 weeks ago with Fran Tarkenton. I asked Fran if Paul Krause ever intercepted him. And the first thing he said right away was, "What did he tell you?" If you Google it, it never happened. So when Fran went back to New York, we did Google it last time we were here, and you never intercepted Fran Tarkenton. But the first thing he said, "What did he tell you?" All right, is there any, how are we doing on time? I don't have to be home at midnight. Everybody good? Okay, is there any advice from a coach that you still carry with you today?
Yes. When I was traded from Washington to the Vikings, Bud Grant told me to walk in with him. That was about the second week of me being a Viking. And Bud said, Paul, I can't tell you how to play defensive back. You've got a lot of interceptions with, I had like, I don't know, 50, no, not 50, but I had a lot of interceptions in DC, and he wouldn't talk to me for about the second week here, and I said, what the crap's going on here? And anyway, he said, he grabbed hold of me when we were running off, and he says, walk in with me. And I said, what did I do? You know, he says, I can't tell you how to play your position, and you can play it probably as better as anybody else. But he says, let me tell you one thing. Don't get beat deep. And yes, sir.
He told me that after I got beat deep. He said, don't ever do that again.
Is that what he said? He told me, he says, don't get beat deep.
All you had to do with Bud was a great coach. If you just did your job, he didn't bother you, he didn't talk to you. I've seen Bud come out to practice many days and never talk to anybody, the whole practice. He'd stand there, but he didn't miss a beat. He watched everything that was going on, but never said a word. Go back, I'm sure he talked to his assistant coaches and talked to them, but he'd never say a word to anybody. New guys, well, Ed White said he played for 2 years before Bud talked to him. 2 years. He said he actually was on this team 2 years before Bud even said hello to him. It's true.
I've been married to Mary for 35 years, and she don't talk to me. All right, what nickname did the Purple People Eaters give you guys? Did you have a nickname?
No.
Bobby, Dave?
Asshole.
Anybody?
My nickname in college was Bones. I weighed 160 pounds when I graduated from USC. Came to the Vikings, and with the Minnesota Vikings, my nickname was Skinny, so I didn't change a whole lot. But they were very appropriate nicknames.
Let me say something.
Oh, go ahead.
I remember one time, I think it was Larry Zonka, went rolling in there, and Bobby came up and hit him, and he kept going. He jumped up and got on his back. Zonka just kept right on going. He was dangling along there. Finally, he got his legs tangled down in with his legs. He tripped him up and got him down. That Zonka he was tough. You don't like to hit him head on, would you?
That's a lie. I could tell he was pretty tough to tackle, but he didn't carry me that far.
I'd exaggerate a little.
All right, this one is for Bobby. How did Bobby know how to leave his man during the game-ending interception in the NFC Championship game against the Rams?
ESP. actually, this game that he's talking about, I was covering Harold Carmichael, who was 6'8", and I had to carry a ladder with me because there was nowhere to play. And anyway, he came down and ran about a 10-yard pattern and cut across the middle. And then there was Nate Wright on the left side was covering another wide receiver for the who was the team they played on? Anyway, the ball was thrown out in the middle, and I went across and intercepted it. And I don't. What was the question anyway?
I don't remember.
Hey, give it to Ozzy then.
What was your favorite food at Trent? No, that's not it. It's the interception against the Rams. How did you know to leave your guy? You left your guy and went and picked off the ball from somebody else.
Well, I looked over at, with quarterback, what was the quarterback for?
Roman Gabriel.
Gabriel.
No, it wasn't Gabriel. It was
Quarterback
a young guy. Who?
Pat Hayden?
Pat Hayden, yeah. Anyway, Pat Hayden never looked at my man, and I was on the right side, and Nate was covering another Harold Jackson on the left side, and I looked over, and the quarterback was looking down at Nate's side, and the guy was 5 yards past Nate, and I knew Nate wasn't going to tackle him, so I just took off across the field. I said, I better help him out. And fortunately, I got there just when the ball did, and I was able to intercept it. So. But I was lucky that he didn't say, uh-oh, we're going to go back and throw it to Bryant's guy because he's wide open.
Sorry.
You got an answer to that?
No, I got no answer to that.
Okay, here we go. This one, I'm not sure on the first part, so I apologize. Whoever wrote it, jump in and help me here. It says, were, and then Fulmer or Fulton, Bobby, Dave, or Bud ever late for a game, or almost late for a game?
No.
Does that make sense? Does anybody know who wrote that?
Weren't you guys late for the game in Detroit? The bus got caught in traffic?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Tell a little bit about it.
I remember I was on the bus, and we were driving from the hotel to the stadium, and we were watching the people in the cars and everything, and all of a sudden we get too close to the thing, and what's going on out there, you know? And a guy says, well, the Vikings aren't here yet.
So the bus got stuck in traffic, and then Bud gave the bus driver directions. He said, get in the middle of the 4 lanes, get in the median, and go. And the guy did. So we go the last couple of miles in the median to get to the stadium, and we ended up being late and getting getting penalized like 30 yards to open the game. So
Let me talk to that too. I was on the first bus, so I was there. So we were all dressed on the field, and these guys weren't there yet. And it was time to start the game. So we were trying to divide it up. Well, I was going to play corner. I never played corner. The ref said the game's starting. Luckily, these guys came charging in just before the game started, came half dressed, came out there and bailed us out. But,
All right, this one is a good timing question, and we'll end with this one. Because of the Summer Olympics, what Summer Olympic sport, if you were in it, would you be doing?
I don't know.
Don't say pole vault. That's
High jump.
Summer Olympics, huh? Broad jump.
Yeah.
the only thing I could do is, I could run the 100-yard dash. We used to run a few 100-yard dashes, didn't we?
Harvey would always beat me by 2 yards.
Yeah, we'd go out there sometime, Bobby, I want to race you again. So we'd get back out there and we'd race. I always let him get within a couple of yards. Back in those days, that had to have been a sprinter, I guess. You know, back in those days, I didn't really consider myself too fast. But, you know, I was the fastest guy, one of the fastest guys on the team. But that wasn't fast. I mean, nowadays, my God, these guys are running 900 in the nines, you know, and so forth. And I was fast in 50 yards. After 50, 60 yards, I burned out quick. Had to beat 100.
Ozzy just didn't look fast, so but he was fast.
All right, I have one last question. All the years you guys played, all the coaches you knew, personal friends, did anybody ever swear as much as Jerry Burns?
Jerry Burns was my head coach in college, and he hasn't stopped cussing, and he's 6 feet down.
Vince Lombardi was really had a foul mouth when we ever played whatever team he coached. He was really. We'd hear him. He'd say, "What the hell is going on out there?" You know. But he was probably the foulest mouth
Yeah.
coach that we played against.
I always said about Jerry Burns, he's the only guy I knew that could say a sentence of 25 words, all swear words to make sense. That's it for tonight.
All right, thank you, guys. Does anybody have a last minute question or anything?
I do.
Ready to jump into the raffle?
Did you guys ever have any sort of initiation for the rookies? Did you initiate
Oh, that's a
them
good
in
question.
Yeah, I think we did. I can't remember.
Or maybe you shouldn't say.
It was kind of phasing out.
We were, some of the young guys, like, the running back from the East Coast, he played, Ed Marinero. I mean, he was the slickest looking guy and all that, and he got his ears full of that.
Yeah, the rookies, during my rookie year with the Vikings, the initiation, we had like 6 rookies that made the team that year, and the initiation, what we had to do was to see who could drink the most beer in that half an hour. And so we started drinking beer, and after about 4 or 5 cans of beer, we were all full, and we started throwing it back up, and it was bubbling up. But that was not a whole lot of fun. First couple of beers were real good, though.
I think they used to have a lot of initiations for rookies, but about the time we came on, it was kind of phasing out, wasn't it, the big initiation deal. But they used to do all types of crazy bad things that we heard about, but it wasn't that bad. When I was there, we had enough rookies that we had more rookies than we did vets, so we could kind of control things. I think that's about it. Thank you.
I got to add one thing. The rookies and the vets, it ended about halfway through our careers because the young guys were making more money than we were.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Do we want to dig out the raffle?